see if we can catch something today while I sit and relax after a long day of mining. Hopefully I can. Hopefully I won't catch another squid. I had to move from over there to over here because I just wanted to play with my fishing pole. And I have zero tolerance for funny squid. And if that is not a hint for the last letter of the alphabet and therefore the last um, rant of season 3, can you believe it already? And I've picked a special one because of recent events in my online life. And I have picked one word. Z is for zero. Zero. Definition from the handy dandy dictionary says that zero is naught, nothing, the lowest point or degree. Okay, but the second definition says it's the origin of any kind of measurement. It is the line or point from which all div- uh, divisions of a scale as a thermometer are measured in either a positive or a negative direction. Okay, it is the baseline. Um, so there's a couple of different meanings of zero. But I got to noticing, I went to, of course, to look for quotes, and there wasn't anything really about zero, but there was some about how the measurement kind of thing, because I found three different phrases that seem to pop up the most often. Okay, and they were zero regrets, zero dress size, and zero tolerance. Okay, and I decided to go with zero tolerance, and I will give you a brief summary of why. We had a little altercation in the TryHards Skype chat room. I won't get into anybody's personal stuff, but there was some name calling and some rudeness, and of course, my redneck mouth had to jump in. Now, I did not jump in to the middle of this for the personal stuff. Anybody's personal business is none of my business because it's personal. Okay? I try not to get into other people's personal stuff, and I appreciate the fact that they don't try to get into my personal stuff. But, and I mean, I can tolerate just about anything. I am, you know, if I have something to say about it, I will. If I mean, but as long as you're living your life and it's not interfering with my life, then we don't have a problem. Okay? But there are certain things that I think most of us have a zero tolerance for. That means we can take just about anything that anybody can throw at us except for these certain things. Now, you know one of mine, we've talked about it before. I have zero tolerance for being lied to. That's probably my big one. But there is another one that I have zero tolerance for, and I will defend anybody. It doesn't matter if they are my worst enemy on this planet or the bestest friend I've ever had. And I will risk that friendship to tell them that they are wrong. That's just the way I am. Okay? So, my other pet peeve is I have zero tolerance for is bullying. I have an autistic son. I have watched him being bullied and picked on for most of his life. When I tell you that I have zero tolerance for bullying, you can trust me. If I see you doing it, you will get a face full of me. I think that is how anybody is if they have a zero tolerance for something. I mean, I'm human, okay? I have faults. I could list them till the cows come home, okay? I think we all can if we are honest with ourselves. Not perfect in any way. Not putting myself above anybody. But there are some things that I will not stand for. I cannot, I will not, I never will. I will not change my mind. And I certainly will not back down because of my zero tolerance for that subject. Okay? Now, if you are honest with yourself, I think everybody, if you look deep enough, you have something that you have zero tolerance for. Animal abuse. I mean, there are big ones and little ones. Okay, is what I'm trying to say. But there are some things that can get under a person's skin so quickly and just, I mean, set them on fire. So when somebody says to you that they have a zero tolerance for something, I mean, that pretty much should tell you that there is nothing on this planet. There are zero things on this planet that will get that person madder than whatever that subject is. Okay? Now, it just seems to me, though, that, now we're getting away from the subject I was talking about, the conversation that happened, the incident that happened. But I think that a lot of, I guess a lot of zero tolerance things come with just experience. Experiencing things, experiencing good things and bad things, okay? Um, I have a zero tolerance for gum popping. That's just, it just absolutely, my ask my kids, my temper will just go poof and it's gone because I cannot stand it. It's irritating, it gets on my nerves, it makes my skin crawl. Um, so there are big things and little things that we can have zero tolerance for. I can pretty much guarantee that everybody on this planet has a couple of those things. They have a couple of things that they will not tolerate under any circumstances whatsoever. One or two of them might be petty little things that, you can't stand gum chewing, you can't stand whatever, cocktail sauce instead of ketchup. I don't, but there are some things that people will just not, you know, zero, none, zip, zilch tolerance for certain things. And there usually is a story or something um, behind that, which, I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you I can be just stubborn, and I mean I just unrational about it. Okay, with my two or three zero tolerance subjects. Okay, I refuse. I refuse to be rational. I will not listen to anybody else's opinions about them. I am set on my course of action, and I promise you that if you think about it, you probably are too. That's just the way we're made. That's the way we're programmed. Okay, there's no there's no denying. People can say, "Oh no, I'm a very tolerant person." A lot of most people are to a point, but when you get down to zero tolerance, it's getting then to the point where, I mean, you would rather cut your own hands off, than have to, whoa, hello, have to deal with it, feel it, touch it. You know what I'm saying? And I really do think that everybody has that one or two things that they cannot tolerate. So, can you be wrong? Absolutely. Of course, we are all right. We can all be wrong to each other because we all see things a different way. That, again, that's just the human in us. There's nothing we can do about it. It just is. So, can you learn to be more tolerant? So, to wrap up, zero tolerance. Can it be just a phenomenal force to come up against? Yes. Is there anything you can do about it? Well, you can kind of sort of try to change your mind about things, but being frayed, the frayed, fault-ridden humans that we are, we probably won't. Can people get hurt over it? Yes. Does that stop us from having zero tolerance for things? No, it does not. And I would like to say that I am above things like that. I am not. I am just as human as the next person, and I tend to stand by my convictions. Would knowing that I hurt somebody change my mind the next time about whatever the thing is I have a zero tolerance for? Probably not. Again, I would, if I have a zero tolerance for it and I think it is that wrong, it does not matter if you are my worst enemy or my best friend, a family member, whatever. I will stand up for what I believe is wrong. And I would expect you to do the same with me. So, with that being said, that's that's probably why I don't have a lot of friends. I tend to speak what's on my mind and tell the brutal truth, and that hurts a lot of people. But it is what it is, and I will not change my beliefs or my points of view about certain things that I really strongly believe in. And that's my failing, and it is what it is. So, but anyway, guys, there you go. Z is for zero, and in this case, zero tolerance. And I hope you have enjoyed this season. I think we got into some very touchy subjects, some very controversial subjects, and I hope to do that even more next season. I think people shy away from certain subjects, and I don't think we should. Um, I think some things should be talked about, and I'm hoping that we can do that even more next season. So I will probably be taking a couple weeks off from this, take a little vacation, and hopefully I will see you guys in a couple of weeks with season 4 of the Mountain Dew Mania A to Z Redneck Rant. Thank you for all the time that you spend. Thank you for comments. Thanks for suggestions. If you have suggestions for next season, please let me know. Put them in the comments. And I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. And I am so out of here. Thank you. Later, guys.